Hello, my name is Nathaniel Gumbs. I am the Director of Chapel Music at Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut. I am extremely grateful to be invited to this exciting series by Dr. Joyce Garrett, dedicating the new organ of this church, and one of the finest churches, I think, in the land. And I watch weekly, and so I'm so grateful to be in this space recording for this amazing series on this new instrument. So I grew up in the Bronx, New York, in Trinity Baptist Church. I was probably a 10 or 11. I taught myself how to read music and play piano and play the organ. And many times I found myself on Saturday nights sneaking into the church just to learn and practice on the organ. Eventually I got caught by the pastor, and he asked me to start playing on Sunday mornings. I used to play for the deacon's devotion. And they eventually sent me to school. My church sent me to music school and study with a teacher so I can have formal training and prep me for college. Then 3 years, my pastor said, "Hey, we made an agreement. You're gonna come here, then go get your doctorate, right?" I said, "Yeah, I think it's time." So I went to Eastman School of Music and got my doctorate in organ performance and literature. I'm extremely grateful to play a Rogers organ, only because every time I play a Rogers, I have nostalgic memories or nostalgic moments. I grew up in Trinity Baptist Church, I mentioned earlier, in the Bronx, and we had the new Rogers organ, and I felt like that was my child being birthed. I had every manual on that organ. I had every stop list on that organ, studied the organ to the T. When the organ arrived to the church, I knew I was telling the church organist how the organ functioned. I was so excited about this organ. And same thing, Rogers hasn't changed much in its quality or its sound, especially in its voice palettes and all the various stops and colors. And this 4-manual instrument captures all of the sounds I remember as a kid, growing up and learning to play the organ. It's a very colorful organ where you can hear the extremities of the organ from the softest stop to the loudest roar, and I think I captured that in this program. The concert today is very diverse. It opens up with Alfred Holland's Concert Overture in C minor. This piece, it's a character piece, or I should say it's a piece that goes to various characters, almost like a movie, and character shifts. And it opens up with a big bombastic C minor chord, and it's a recitative-like section. The second section is more of a scherzo, and the third section is more lyrical, and then it repeats throughout, and he finds some way to integrate all themes at the end, growing to full organ. In this piece, I introduced the handbells in the organ, the Zimbelstern, which you hear rotating bells happening, the lovely clarinet, which is one of my favorite stops on the Rogers organ, and the strings and various other colors of the instrument. From there, I will play Siegfried Karg-Ehlert's Harmonie du Soir, Harmonies of the Night, which translates. One of my favorite pieces. It's a lyrical German romantic piece that shows off the colors of the instrument again, from the softest stop of the organ to a loud crescendo roar and a decrescendo at the end, returning to the soft stops of the organ. The third piece, Spirit Fantasy by Carl Haywood. Carl Haywood is Professor Emeritus at Norfolk State University. And he wrote this piece and dedicated it to me by surprise. Colin Richardson, another Black organist, and Terry Butler, another Black organist, which is his assistant at the Norfolk State University. And this piece is a fun piece. It's a spiritual based on Every Time I Feel the Spirit. And he actually captures the essence of both the text and the mood of this piece and the music he composed. And the last piece, which I'm excited about, is by the great Florence Price. Florence Price Sonata in D minor, her first sonata. I'll play the last two movements. Andantino, which is a lyrical movement. I say a duet between the oboe and the flute of the organ. And it sort of grows in harmonically and harmonic tension throughout, and then it then goes back to this lovely lyrical section between the oboe and the flutes. The last movement is the finale, which is just a big French toccata, hands and feet flying the entire time. And that's the entire program. Florence Price, I'm excited about. I should have said this earlier. She is the first Black woman composer to have her piece premiered by a major symphony orchestra here in the States, the Chicago Symphony Orchestra in 1933, her symphony in E minor. And she is known as being one of the pioneers in Black classical music. So I'm excited to showcase her work here at this program. It was an extreme honor to have one of the DC legends and pioneers in both church music and just music, uh, all music. Turn pages for me, Dr. Joyce Garrett. I have most of the music memorized. As you can see, I'm looking down at my hands most of the time. But it's just a security blanket, especially with new organs, a very limited time. Um, I usually spend maybe 8-hour days learning an instrument. But here, because of scheduling and because of my schedule, I had to come last minute, and I had maybe a day and a half to practice. And just as a security blanket to have the music up there, and Dr. Joyce was so kind to assist me in turning the music pages for me. I am extremely grateful to be here and thankful for the invitation to be at one of the greatest churches, I think, in the nation or in the world. Thank you to Alfred Street Church for having me. I'm sad that it's not live and it's virtual, but however, the spirit, I think, is to be captured in this video. Special thanks to Pastor Howard John Wesley, who I think is one of the greatest preachers in this world, who I watch weekly. I'm grateful for that experience, and I'm grateful to be in the DMV area. I forgot to mention, but while I was at Shenandoah, I was driving, I guess up, or I don't know where Shenandoah is, in directions to DC, but I was driving in every week to play at the Metropolitan Baptist Church, where Nolan Williams was the minister of music. And I met some of my greatest friends and colleagues, and some of the greatest church music experience I remember as a kid was at Metropolitan Baptist. So coming back to DC is always a treat for me, or DMV rather. So thank you for having me.